The movie opens with a breathtaking yet terrifying shot. Two girls, Hunter and Becky, stranded at the top of a 2,000-foot-high TV tower, surrounded by nothing but endless desert. They try calling for help, but at that altitude, there's no signal at all. With no one nearby for miles, getting spotted is impossible. To make things even worse, vultures start circling them, waiting for their moment. One slip or one blink too long, and they'll plunge straight to their deaths. From here, the story flashes back to where it all began, when Becky, her boyfriend Dan, and her best friend Hunter were out rock climbing together. Everything seems fine until Dan reaches for a hold inside a small hole in the cliff. Out of nowhere, a bird flies out, startling him. He loses his grip, and though the rope catches him, he's left dangling. Becky and Hunter try to pull him back, but before they can, the rope snaps and Dan falls to his death. Almost a year later, 51 weeks to be exact, Becky still hasn't recovered. She's drowning in grief, drinking heavily and shutting everyone out. Her father, James, keeps trying to convince her to move on, but she won't listen. One lonely night, Becky decides she's had enough and prepares to end her life with a handful of pills. But before she can, her phone rings. It's Hunter calling after almost a year. The next day, Hunter visits her. She's upbeat, adventurous, and full of energy. Hunter tells Becky about her plan to climb the B-67 TV tower and invites her along, saying it's time they bring back their old spirit of adventure. Becky refuses at first, but the next morning, while looking through photos of Dan, she remembers how fearless he used to be. Wanting to honor him, she changes her mind and agrees to go. The two set out on their journey. During the drive, Becky scrolls through old pictures of Hunter and notices something strange. A man's hand wrapped around Hunter in one photo. She asks about it, but Hunter avoids the question. Her dad calls, but she ignores it. That night, they stop at a small motel. Over dinner, Hunter reveals she's now a travel vlogger, earning money from her adventures. They can even see the massive TV tower glowing faintly in the distance, one of the tallest in the entire country. The next morning, they hit the road again. Hunter films her vlog, telling her viewers about the 2,000-foot climb they're about to attempt. She gets so focused on her camera that she nearly crashes into a truck. Eventually, they reach the site, fenced off and plastered with warning signs, but the two ignore everything and decide to hike the rest of the way through the desert. Along the way, they come across vultures picking apart a dead animal. Hunter films it for her vlog and posts a photo online, bragging that it's raw nature. Within minutes, it gets flooded with likes. When they finally reach the base of the tower, Becky freezes. The structure looks ancient. The metal rusted, bolts loose, and ladders corroded. Every inch of it screams danger. She hesitates, saying maybe they shouldn't do it, but Hunter laughs it off, clips their ropes together, and starts the climb. Inside the narrow ladder shaft, the climb is grueling. Every few steps, the metal creaks and groans under their weight. Halfway up, one of the rungs snaps, nearly sending Becky falling, but she holds on, shaking in fear. They pause midway, drinking water and taking in the view. The city below looks like a miniature model. Then they keep climbing. After scaling 800 feet, only 200 remain, but this part is even more dangerous. The last ladder is on the outside of the tower, fully exposed to the howling wind. Becky trembles, begging to turn back. Hunter pushes her to keep going. The ladder sways as gusts of wind whip around them. At one point, Hunter shakes it playfully, and a bolt falls loose. Luckily, the ladder holds, and they keep climbing. Finally, they reach the top, exhausted but exhilarated. They cheer, take photos, and record videos for Hunter's vlog. But she wants more. She grabs her drone, flies it around for a few epic shots, and then, in a crazy stunt, hangs off the ledge by one hand while Becky films her. After pulling herself back up, Hunter challenges Becky to do the same. Terrified, Becky refuses, but Hunter convinces her, saying it's the only way to conquer her fear. Shaking, Becky grips Hunter's hand and lowers herself off the ledge, scattering Dan's ashes into the wind. It's a bittersweet moment, emotional, powerful, and freeing. When they're done, they prepare to descend. Becky goes first, but the second she steps on the ladder, it snaps away from the tower. She screams as she falls, but Hunter grabs the rope and manages to pull her back up. The two cling to each other, laughing hysterically from pure adrenaline, until reality sets in. The ladder is gone. They're trapped, 2,000 feet in the air, no way down, no phone signal, and their bag with supplies hanging far below on a satellite dish. They find some old binoculars and a flare gun in a maintenance box, but both are useless. Becky starts panicking, but Hunter stays calm, saying maybe someone heard the ladder collapse. The vultures circle closer. The desert sun blazes hotter, and from this moment on, their fight for survival begins. Hunter tries to keep Becky calm and convinces her to wait. Maybe someone will eventually notice they're missing. While brainstorming ways to escape, Hunter spots a nasty cut on Becky's leg from the earlier fall. Without hesitation, she tears off her shirt and wraps it tightly around the wound. As time passes, the two try to distract themselves. Becky asks Hunter why she ever started vlogging in the first place. Hunter pauses, then admits she began because of Dan. The answer instantly makes Becky suspicious. Hours later, Hunter remembers posting the animal photo earlier and realizes something. Maybe there's a signal if the phone hangs at a certain height. She types out a help message, ties her phone to the rope, and lowers it as far as possible, hoping the post will send. But the attempt fails. Still, it gives them an idea. Maybe there is signal at the base. So they decide to drop the phone entirely, hoping it'll survive the fall and upload the message. Hunter stuffs her phone into her shoe, padding it with socks and her bra for protection. Before tossing it down, Becky notices a 143 tattoo on Hunter's ankle, the same code Dan used to say, "I love you." Suspicion turns into silent tension. Hunter throws the shoe. It vanishes into the desert below. below. A while later, they spot a man walking his dog near the tower. Both start screaming for help, but the man can't hear them. Moments later, the phone shatters on impact, confirming their plan has failed. Desperate, Becky tosses their shoes down, trying to get the man's attention, but nothing works. She grabs the flare gun ready to shoot, but Hunter stops her. "In daylight, he'll never see it," she says. Soon after, they spot another man and realize there's a small group having a party nearby, so they wait until night, hoping the darkness will make the flare visible. When night falls, Becky fires the flare gun. The light streaks across the skies and it works. The men see the signal and wave back. The girls cry tears of relief as they watch the men approach their car. But then, their smiles fade. Instead of helping, the men steal their car and drive away. Their last bit of hope dies right there. Later that night, Becky confronts Hunter about the tattoo. Hunter finally breaks down and confesses she had an affair with Dan for 6 months. She apologizes through tears, saying she never meant to hurt Becky. Dan listened to her in a way no one else did, but she ended it because she valued Becky more than anything. Becky sits in silence, heartbroken. Her best friend and her boyfriend, the two people she trusted most, had betrayed her. By morning, Becky's phone alarm rings, 24 hours since they dropped Hunter's phone. Thirst is killing them. Hunter decides to risk everything to retrieve their supply bag that's still stuck on the satellite dish below. She ties one end of the rope to the tower and the other around her waist, then begins lowering herself, but the bag is still just out of reach. With no other choice, Hunter unclips her harness, hangs by one arm, and swings hard toward the disc. She manages to grab the bag, gulps down some water, then hooks it onto the rope with her selfie stick. Becky pulls while Hunter climbs, and every inch a battle. Hunter's almost at the top when her grip slips and she falls. Becky screams, but when she looks down, she sees Hunter still hanging onto the rope, clutching the bag. Becky uses all her strength to pull her up. Exhausted but alive, they start planning their next move. Becky writes a help note, attaches it to their drone, and sends it flying toward the motel they stayed at. But halfway through, the drone's battery dies, forcing it back. They try again, but it doesn't make it far enough. Another failed attempt. That night, Becky dreams of vultures tearing into Hunter's body. She jolts awake, sweating. It was just a nightmare. When morning comes, she realizes something. The tower lights. They can use the electricity to charge the drone. Becky climbs up the thin metal pole and plugs it in, but the connection is weak. The plug keeps slipping loose. She tightens it as best she can, hoping it'll be enough. To charge the drone, Becky has no choice but to hold the plug in place by hand, high above the desert under the scorching sun. The heat is unbearable, and vultures circle menacingly around her, waiting for her to collapse, but Becky refuses to give up. She stays strong, holding on until the drone is fully charged. In the process, though, her bag slips from the platform, falling all the way down to the ground below. When the drone's battery is finally full, Becky climbs back down and immediately launches it toward the motel, their last hope for rescue. The drone flies perfectly, and for a moment it seems like they're saved. But just as it nears the motel, a truck smashes into it, shattering it to pieces. Becky watches helplessly as their only hope is destroyed. Both girls are crushed, or so it seems. A fierce storm hits that night, making survival even harder. Becky is completely drained and begs to sleep, but Hunter warns her not to, saying the vultures might attack if she lets her guard down. Becky then asks for Hunter's shoe to tie her phone and throw it down one last time, but Hunter doesn't move. She quietly says, "I can't, my shoes are down on the dish." That's when the truth finally hits Becky. Hunter is dead. She never survived the earlier fall. Becky only pulled up the bag, not her friend. Everything since then, Hunter's voice, her presence, has been a hallucination, a desperate trick of Becky's mind to stay sane. She's been completely alone this whole time. That night, Becky endures the brutal storm by herself. The next morning, she records a final video message for her dad, apologizing for everything and saying she just wants to come home. Elsewhere, her father James can be seen frantically trying to contact her, worried sick. By sunrise, Becky's wounds have worsened, and the vultures are back. One of them lands and starts pecking at her open wounds. Becky snaps, grabs the bird, and slams it against the metal platform, killing it. Desperate for strength, she does the unthinkable. She eats the vulture's meat raw to survive. Fueled with new energy, Becky ties herself to the rope and carefully lowers down to the satellite disc where Hunter's body still lies. It's a gut-wrenching moment. There, she takes Hunter's shoe, puts her own phone inside it, and then hides the shoe inside Hunter's body, knowing the phone has a better chance of being protected that way. With a deep breath, she drops the body, hoping it will reach the ground safely and someone will find it. Hours later, James receives Becky's final message and immediately calls 911. He rushes to the site, arriving just as authorities are pulling a body from the base of the tower. Overcome with emotion, he breaks down, believing it's his daughter. But then through the dust and chaos, he hears a faint voice. He looks up and sees Becky, alive, clinging to the structure as rescuers climb up to reach her. Father and daughter finally reunite in tears. A powerful, emotional ending to their nightmare. And that's the end of Fall 2022. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing movie breakdowns every week. Your support means the world to us. Until next time, stay safe, stay strong, and never look down.